This is urgent. Someone has got your password information. Click this link now to change it. Hello, welcome back to Cyber and Secure. My name is Sam and today I'm going to be talking to you about phishing emails. So the main challenge with phishing is to decipher what's real and what's not, because email is such a great way to get messages across to people. So it's very difficult to decipher, is this a legit email or is there someone pretending to be from this company just to try and steal my information? So the battle with phishing email really comes with user awareness, user training, and just you as an individual taking the time and taking the responsibility upon yourself to decipher what you think is real and what is not, and best ways to go about dealing with phishing emails, dealing with legit emails, and how to ensure that you also remain very hard to hack. So phishing email is a method used by hackers to acquire sensitive information from the end user. There's different types of phishing. Phishing with a PH is just the basics of sending out email. You've also got a more precise method which is called spear phishing, which is more of a targeted audience. This could be an individual or a group of individuals. For example, people within an organization may be targeted in a spear phishing campaign that pertains to their workplace. Another level of email phishing is whaling. Whaling is targeting a high-level executive, CEO, for example. Other ways hackers are using phishing is through voice, which is called vishing with a V. Another way is through smishing, which is SMS phishing essentially, which is just through texting. So those are the primary ones. Phishing is the most popular. What makes a successful phishing email? Well, a hacker's going to pry on several things. Firstly is the layout of the phishing email. If they're trying to replicate an organization, they'll go and steal that template from the organization they're trying to mimic, and they'll steal that template and then they'll add their wording, add their link. It will look very convincing. Another thing that makes a phishing campaign seem real is the urgency. Typically if you get an email requesting something done within a tight time frame, be it click here now because of your passwords have been leaked, or click here now because you're about to be charged another $300 for a service you didn't know you were subscribed to. The urgency is what gets someone to think irrationally and not think logically as to what is being asked, and then to act upon that. Another aspect to a convincing phishing campaign is the hacker pretending to be someone from an authority, which will intimidate the user. Another aspect is the convenience of having the links embedded into the email. This is another thing that will couple with the urgency set on by the hacker. So the hacker will say, your passwords have been leaked, and they'll couple that with click here now to change your passwords, which will then pry the user from reading the email which says, your passwords have been leaked. The user is now panicking, thinking someone has my password for my banking information, I need to go change that. Here's the link, quickly click it. Without thinking, they'll be redirected typically to another page, and then the information they just typed in will be sent to the hackers. So what are the dangers of clicking on a phishing email? Well, firstly, like I said before, they will typically be sending you to a malicious site that will be asking for sensitive information about you. Another dangerous aspect of phishing emails is that sometimes hackers will embed malicious software within the email that will be asking you to install and download this file, which is just malicious software disguised as a picture or something mundane that you wouldn't really think twice about. But this malicious software could either be ransomware, which could take over your whole machine, and if you're on a network, it could spread and take over the whole network. Is spyware. Now the hacker will be able to see what you're seeing either through real-time monitoring or through screenshots that they've set up to take. They'll be able to monitor the keystrokes through key logging. They'll be able to just see all you're doing on your machine, have access to your webcam, and you may not even know you did it just by clicking on a picture or a link within an email that allowed the machine to be taken over. So what do you do with a phishing email? Well, the best thing to do is to just don't click on anything, report the email as a spam, and then delete it out of your inbox. So how do you determine what is a phishing email and what is a genuine email? There are several signs, but the first is to look at the sender email. If the sender email does not match who you are expecting the mail from or who it is meant to represent. The next thing to look for is wording, English, grammar. Another indication is to hover over the link itself, and you'll be able to look at the link, the URL. If they're claiming to be from PayPal, it should say www.paypal.com. It's not going to say, www.shorturl. And several random characters and letters. Now, I'm going to run through a couple of examples of emails. Some are going to be phishing emails, some are going to be legit. So I'm just going to show you some heads up on what you can do to better secure yourself and not fall victim to these kind of attacks. Okay, so now we have the page pulled up, and we're just going to run through a couple of examples of emails. Some are legit, some are fake, and we'll run through and I'll talk about what to spot for, what to look for, and determine whether or not it's a phishing email or if it's a legit email. So this site, phishingquiz.withgoogle.com, I'll include in the description below. So here you're just going to put in a random name. I'm just going to put my first name. And then an email, we're just going to put generic, just put sam at testing.com. So that's the email that's going to be sent to. So it's going to make it a little bit more real. So the first email, as we can see, it's from a gentleman called Luke Johnson with a luke.jason8000@gmail. It could be genuine. That looks like a genuine email address. At first, it's pretty vague. It's obviously copying Google Docs. Typically, what most people do is if they knew a Luke Johnson or if this was meant to be someone I knew, oh, Luke sent me a thing, click on the link, and not really think too much about it. So the first thing is what I would do is hover over the link, and as you can see, it says HTTP. First alarm bell, not giving me the HTTPS connection as I said earlier. And next, I'm going to look at the sender information. So it's from November, nothing major. I mean, the from obviously matches that one. So there's a few red flags here, with the HTTP, the URL doesn't really align to what I would typically expect. So what I would do is, if this was a gentleman I knew, if I knew Luke Johnson and I was not expecting email, I would go ahead now, send him a text, hey Luke, did you send me something in Google? Do you want me to open it up? But I'm going to say on this basis that I think it is a phishing email. And that's correct. So it is. It's a phishing email. Okay, so this could represent if you're a student and if you work at a school, for example. Sharon Mosley is a colleague potentially of yours. This could be very convincing if you work at the school. Like I said, this is more of a spear phishing campaign. This is more targeted at an organization, which is from Westmount Day School, and that maybe Sharon's account has been taken over. And if you look here, it says usually emails come from sharon.mosley@westmountschool.org. And there we go, yes, that email's coming from Westmount Days. Just looking at it, you see Sharon.Mosley, and then the rest kind of blurs in if you're not really looking too clearly at it. Yep, that's from Sharon from the financial department. I need to respond to this because it's regarding something that I need to do for my job. But if you just take the extra second, you'll be able to notice, hang on a minute, that's Westmount Day School, whereas that's not our domain. It's meant to be Westmount School. So that's a very clear indication that this is a phish. And then it's got the PDF downloads that they're obviously asking you to do, which could include malicious software, or it could very well just be a PDF with more financial information that you'll have to fill out. The clear indication right here is the Westmount Day School as opposed to the Westmount School. So again, just double checking that sender before you do anything. So it's definitely a phish. Yep, open up a fresh email to Sharon, who you send me a 2022 financial report, and then she'll obviously say, no, I didn't do that. And then the best thing to do there is to take a screenshot of the email and then send that email to the help desk, informing them so they can look out and also alert everyone in the organization. Okay, so this is more of a typical home user kind of attack. Your password, someone has your password, immediately installs fear and that urgency of, I need to go change this now because, if someone has my password, this isn't good. So again, immediately you're not really thinking rational, you're thinking, I gotta go do this now. But that's the critical time you need to stop, quickly look at the email, think about it, and move into what it is. No reply at Google support, at google.support. Fairly genuine. That looks like it could have come from Google support. This could be a genuine quick alert that someone's logged in from a geolocation that isn't usually mine. So say maybe you're using a VPN and you connected to Romania. This could generate that kind of email. I mean, the English is good. They're missing a period at the end here, which Google would not do. This looks like a genuine email, and it would install fear in the user to quickly, someone in Romania has my account, what are they doing with it? I need to go on and change my password. Like I said before, here's that convenient link that they send in, change your password here. You click it, it will give you a Google page, you'll go, and you'll do that. However, if you again hover over the link, it says HTTP, which again, red flag immediately, and then myaccount.google.com-securitysettingspage.ml-security.org. It's a very, very long, not the right domain we want. It's adding in the -securitysettingspage.ml-security.org, which is obviously the site that whoever sent this email, they've set up a dummy site, which looks exactly like what you would log in with. You log in, send them the information, and then your account has been hacked. So this is definitely a phish for sure. Yeah. All right, so final one. Sign up for travel planning service. So if I know who TripIt was, if I was expecting an email from TripIt, if I do one of two things here, if I was expecting it and they already sent me information prior, I feel more comfortable allowing them to do this. If I wasn't expecting it, but I knew I was doing business with them, I would email them just saying, hey, can I just double check that this is you? Typically I'll do it from a different source, be it a text or a phone call. And then finally, if I wasn't doing any business with TripIt, and if I had no clue as to what TripIt was, I wouldn't do anything with this email. I would just, mark it as spam and throw it away. However, I do think this is meant to be a service I was expecting and I was meant to be doing because it said I signed up for a travel planning service. So I think this is genuine. But again, before I would hit legit or phish, I would, make contact with someone at Tripper just to double check. But honestly, for this case, this is legit. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see there, I ran through several examples of emails, what to look out for, and how convincing some of them can actually be. And if you can just take the extra, 60 seconds just to quickly get in a habit of looking for the sender information, if that matches who you're expecting it from. If you highlight over any links in the page, you'll be able to look out for the domains and the URLs and the HTTPS connection to ensure that the site you're going to go to is the one that you believe you're going to, and also to ensure that the site is secure. Also, just giving it a quick read through to ensure that the grammar, the English, and the story aligns to what they're doing. And if they are urging you to do something, there is an urgency base on it, is to try your best to stop, think about it, just really think about before you click. Make sure that you hover over any URLs, any links in the page. You'll be able to double check and make sure that the site that they're trying to bring you to is actually the legit site. Make sure the English is good, and my main takeaway is, honestly, just really think about before you click. The majority of the time, don't click on any links or anything in emails. So, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. I really do appreciate it, and if you have any comments or questions or any cool stories that you have about phishing, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to read them. And until next time, my name is Sam, and this is Cyber and Secure.